Welcome back. It's Thursday at 4 o'clock, which means you are getting ready for the most inspirational segment in all of sports. Unfortunately, no letter this week. I talked to the Postmaster General.
Wow.
And they said they had a stamp issue.
You know, I'm really I don't know that I believe that.
Why?
I'm not trying to disparage Don, or Don Jr.
Or Ryan and Brian.
Ryan and Brian, any of them. But I think this week they were lazy, they were unprofessional, and they didn't understand their obligation to this show.
I've been trying to get off this bit. We've done 50 things to 100%. Brewer's like, hey, you know games we want? We got games. We got the protein under there. I can't come up with any more ideas. I can't. You want this? There's nothing in it. That's what the Budless people are like, please do it. It's not even a real game.
There was no letter last week either.
I'm trying to get a new bit.
Who's number 3 on the Bud list? Kevin Wild. How about that? Because he didn't come up with anything to introduce it. All right, let's get into it. Number 3 on the Bud list. Not Kevin Wild. Damian Lillard.
Oh.
All right, tonight is the night, Dame. Tonight is likely the night that finally you realize it's not happening. It's not happening here in Portland. They're not going to make some super trade, some blockbuster trade that's going to get you guys near the top of the Western Conference. I said earlier, at best, it's Paul George, Zion Williamson, and only Brandon Miller thinks a Paul George trade would put you guys in the championship hunt. All right, so you have to say tonight you'll come to the realization of I either have to stay in Portland where I love it and I love these fans and not win a championship, heck, not even get to the finals. Or I can go elsewhere and win that ring that everybody says I need to win. So, Dame, I think tonight, get out your pen and pad, your great rapper, MC, whichever term you prefer. Write a farewell rhyme to the fans of Portland, and then be ready to move on to, I hope, Philly, maybe Miami, or someplace like that. Dame, I do believe in you. I'd love to see you win the championship. All right, at number 2, Zion Williamson. All right, I don't think you're getting traded tonight, but a lot of people do, and it certainly is a possibility. Here's the thing. Either way, Zion, you're going to be on pins and needles tonight. Probably more so than when you were actually drafted because you knew where you were going then. You knew you were going number 1. All right, tonight you'll be on pins and needles waiting, wondering, will I be traded? Well, either way, what you have to do, this is going to be a pivotal moment for your career. If you are traded, embrace it. All right, embrace the trade, embrace the fresh start, and go out and do everything you can to prove that the New Orleans Pelicans made a mistake in giving it up on Zion Williamson. If you aren't traded, then do everything you can to prove that they did the right thing by standing by you and believing in you. Because Zion, I believe in you. Go out and get it done. Number 1, Victor Wembanyama. This is it, guys. This is it. This is the night, Vic, you've been dreaming of your entire life. All right, this is when you get to the NBA, and man, so far your dream has worked out tremendously. You are going to the greatest organization you could go to. They got a great coach. They've got a great staff. They got a French connection. They got everything you need, and they have $40 million in cap room to build around you and young players that might fit your game. So you are in a great situation. Don't worry about I have to be better than Kareem. I have to be better than Shaq. I have to be better than LeBron and Michael Jordan. I have to be the GOAT. Don't worry about any of that. Leave that to us. Leave us to discuss that stuff. You just go out and work hard, young man, and know this. I believe in you. Nick has Scoot Henderson. Wilds has Chet Holmgren. I have you, Vic. Bruce got you. So I believe in you. Go out and do your thing, my man.
All right. Great Bud list as always. Despite no letter to get you going, you rose to the occasion this week. Speaking of Brews, guys, Brews number 1 guy, BFF forever is on the bud list.
Who?
Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Wow. Didn't he sell
Tonight,
the team?
well, yes, but they are letting him make the pick tonight, which is a very odd decision because he, of course, has been worse at this than anyone in modern NBA history. I don't have time to give you the full draft history, but I'll give you a quick cursory look at it. You know, he got to run the Wizards once. He took Kwame Brown #1 overall instead of Tyson Chandler or Pau Gasol. He then, right before he bought the Hornets, they let him run that draft. He was running the front office. He took Adam Morrison at #3. A few years later, he took Michael Kidd-Gilchrist at #2. Damian Lillard went a couple picks later. He's on there, too. He took Cody Zeller at #4 with Giannis on the
Zeller
board.
helped the
A
team
guy
get to
named
the conference
Noah
finals.
Vonleh went #9. He was once upon a time offered 4 first-round picks because the Boston Celtics wanted Justice Winslow at #9. He said, "No, I will not do that. Instead, I will keep the #9 pick and draft Frank Kaminsky." Devin Booker went a couple picks later. He did draft, to his credit, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's an All-NBA player. He traded him 10 minutes later for Miles Bridges and 2 second-round picks. All of those things happened, and James Bouknight was taken, but I've never seen him play for the Hornets, but I know he was taken in the first round. So there are others, but that's just a cursory list of it. He was about to do it again, and I like Brandon Miller.
No, you don't. You clearly don't.
I like Brandon Miller. I love Scoot Henderson. But the basketball gods, which you guys don't believe in,
Didn't they get buried in the playoffs?
Seem to be smiling
You bringing those chumps
upon
back?
your guy's false idol in Michael Jordan. It's odd that maybe the basketball gods are false idols as well, because Brandon Miller has come out now, angered Michael, and now he is going to force Michael's hand into the right pick. And I know some people are like, oh, how will Scoot and LaMelo work together? Well, if they can't, then you trade LaMelo because Scoot Henderson is going to be a superstar. And so, congrats to Michael Jordan. It would appear you have been backed into making the pick that should have been the obvious pick all along. Just don't blow it. Michael Jordan, I don't believe in you as a front office exec, but good luck tonight. What?
Here's the thing, Mr. Draft Guru.
Yeah.
Since you know so much about Scoot Henderson and Brandon Miller, I like Scoot. I talked to an NBA executive the other day, earlier this week, who told me that he's got a Mamba mentality, like a Russell Westbrook type of motor.
I watched him play against Big Vic and go right after him.
Right. So he might be great. But Brandon Miller, I was not impressed in the NCAA tournament. I mean, that was really bad. But he does, I hate to keep bringing up his idol, but he does look like he could be a Paul George. And I think if they are taking him over Scoot, I think the thought, now this might be wrong, it might be right, is that we already have our point guard.
I know.
LaMelo.
That's why they would
so
do
we
it.
team him with Brandon Miller. And if Miller becomes a great player, then that's a good move.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I think that's the only reason they might take him over Scoot.
You know what's really cool nowadays, bro? To shout out the naysayers of the world. So when the Nuggets won the championship, and we believed in the Nuggets, Nick Wright got the shout out. Well, the tide has turned. Sometimes you need only one person to believe in you to gas you up. And that's Brandon Miller gassing up Paul George, who I'm adding to the bud list. Paul George, you're in a great spot, my man. Last year, remember the talk of the draft was Ben Mathurin saying, LeBron's got to prove it to me. Well, now it's gone the other way. Paul George is better than Michael Jordan. Paul George, you should be sitting there saying, you know what? Everyone's laughing at me. This guy believes in me. And actually, I went back and looked at the MVP votes from 2019. Here's how it went. Giannis at 1, Harden at 2, Paul George at 3, and then Joker at 4. Gosh darn it, I'm Paul George. I'm pretty good. And now my name is being bandied about in trades. Maybe I come to the world's most famous arena, and I had Josh pull Paul George's recent games at the Garden. 24 points a game and 2 30-point games. Paul George, it's not working in Clipperland. But you know what? What?
What's the trade?
Wait, hold on.
You got him being traded to the Knicks?
No, that's not it. Is that these are not exactly like eye pop? Like wow.
That's probably about 21st on his arena points per game.
Do you want me to make them up out of thin air? 50 points a game?
I just maybe wouldn't have used it in my argument.
I believe in the guy.
So you have him being traded to the Knicks tonight.
That's out there.
Bro,
I'm just saying, Paul George, I feel like he thinks we think of Paul George being on the back 9 of his career. Brandon Miller says he's better than Michael Jordan. He has a chance to win a championship with the Knicks.
Oh
my
the
goodness
GOAT.
gracious.
Can we show that? I don't know. Can we show that eye-popping graphic
It's
again?
24 points a game.
I mean, listen, so you're telling me Paul George, who this year averaged 23.8 points per game.
That's good.
But Hines goes to MSG, and all of a sudden, it's the exact
Sometimes the
same.
lights are too bright on Broadway for some people. And he can do it. He's got 2 30-point games, which means he also probably has 2 18-point games in there. I don't know. Regardless, Paul George, things are coming up roses for you.
Okay.
Wow.
I believe
Okay,
you.
that's an interesting. That was interesting one. That was a heck of a performance. Just that whole segment by you.
I don't know if it was good. Next week, Butler. It's going to rate
I'm
through the
looking
roof.
for improvement next week. Let's
Well,
just
you
put
know
it
what?
that way.
That's fair. Put me on the list.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.